Welcome to Jefferson County Schools. My name is Tommy Arnold, Director of Schools for Jefferson County. This is my first year as Director, and I'm looking forward to great things going on in Jefferson County Schools. This is also my 23rd year with Jefferson County. So I've been here a long time and look forward to improving our school system and keep doing great things. I wanted to touch base on three main topics today. The first is the beginning of the year. My goal is to build trust and unity throughout our district. It started out with our opening meeting with our teachers and staff as they came back. We had a fun opening meeting, very professional, but a fun atmosphere. And that's what I want our school system to be. Very professional, but yet a fun atmosphere for our teachers, staff, and students. Public education the past 3 years has faced some criticism, and I really ask that our teachers build a team concept, principals within their buildings build a team concept to build unity. And I ask our public to support our teachers, staff, and students in building a team concept and really supporting our school system. I'd also like to talk to you about building renovations, construction projects going on within our system. We have a large renovation happening at Piedmont Elementary School. That's an 18-month, $12 million project that will add a new front entrance for buses, new backside of the building with a entrance for parents that are coming into the school will now enter into the back whenever renovations are done this time next year or into early fall. Also, we get roof renovations at that school, HVAC upgrades. Classrooms will get new drop ceiling, lighting, painting, and flooring throughout the building. We have went through and renovated during the summer with asbestos abatement, putting in new sewer lines. So there's been a lot of work done this school year. Also, we have completed lots of roof renovations at schools across our district. Roof leaks were the norm several years ago. We've spent $3.5 million of federal money to address roof leaks at Rush Strong, New Market, Jeff Middle, White Pine, Dandridge. We are also looking to spend $2 million more starting this fall at Rush Strong, Jeff Middle, Talbot, and another section of Maury Middle School. Our board is also committed to putting HVAC systems in gymnasiums at our school. Maury Middle is over 70 years old and just received HVAC in their gym, along with Talbot. Both of those schools now have HVAC in their gyms, which is really important, as the past 2 years we have held summer school that takes us into the end of June. And as we start school earlier now than we used to, August the 5th, it was 94 degrees, so it was nice to have HVAC in those gyms. And our board is committed to move forward and do other gyms as money comes available. The last thing I'd like to talk about is school safety. This summer we attended with central office staff, principals, and Sheriff's Department SROs a training in Pigeon Forge in which we learned about the role of the SRO, things to look for within our school system to improve safety for our students and staff. And we've also this summer spent $250,000 on camera upgrades within our school system to improve the picture quality of cameras, the number of cameras, and our server equipment. Also, to improve our server equipment, we are also in the process of talking to the emergency management E911 office so that whenever our schools call in an emergency and into 911, 911 is able to turn our camera system on and view in real time what the emergency is at the school and be able to relay information to officers responding so that they have real-time information to be able to respond to location and threat and assist our students and staff in need. Thank you, and I hope that you all have a great school year. If you're ever in need, please reach out to our central office, myself here at central office. My email is on the web page, and I'm available to help with any circumstances. Thank you, and hope you have a great year.
I'm Jamie Johnson. I'm the nutrition coordinator for the school system, and we are so glad to have each of you back this year. We want to let you know that we are back to normal, which means the students will be paying for their meals unless you qualify for free and reduced meals. You can qualify for those online this year by going to our county website, and if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, there's a news article that says free and reduced lunch application. So go to that news article, and there's a link there where you can apply online. If you receive a letter that states that your student was directly certified, you do not have to apply for meals. They were already approved free, so there's no need for you to do that at this time. We are so grateful to have our students back, and we'd love for them to eat in our cafeterias this year. We hope they have a wonderful year, and if you have any questions, just give us an email. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christy Waltke. I'm the elementary supervisor for Jefferson County Schools. I've spent the last 23 years in Jefferson County Schools, and this is my third year as elementary supervisor. I'm very excited about this school year for 3 reasons. Number one, we've persevered through the COVID crisis, and this year promises to be a lot more normal. Number two, in the elementary grades, we have a year's experience with our phonics program or foundational skills program, and a year's experience with our new math curriculum. These curriculums are research-based and high quality, and teachers have learned how to apply their own expertise to these curriculums. And thirdly, we have a strong strategic plan around our core 4. Our core 4 are, number 1, a culture of excellence. Number 2, high quality instruction. Number 3, feedback, and that's feedback for our educators and feedback for our students. And finally, data literacy and data responsiveness. We have a school district filled with amazing educators and excellent schools. Our supervisor team is planning to make it a priority this year to share more of our highlights on social media. To the parents and community, thank you for all of your support. We appreciate being on the same team as you.
Hi, I'm Carrie Trent, Supervisor of Student Support Services. I wanted to remind parents that Allied Behavioral Health is available in every single school setting that we have this school year. In addition to all 10 schools, 10 therapists that they have available, they're adding another one so that we can make sure that all of our students are serviced in a timely manner. We do have some schools who are full. If you would like for your child to see a therapist while they're in the school setting, please make sure that you're contacting your child's school counselor so that they can give you information on the referral process. We also have a school-based behavioral health liaison from Helen Ross McNabb at Jefferson County High School. That is also available to students who already see a therapist at Helen Ross McNabb if you would like to transfer and have them see someone at the high school during the day, so that way you don't have to take them after school or worry about attendance and things like that. So if that's something you would be interested in, please contact Helen Ross McNabb to talk about changing that to their school-based behavioral health liaison at Jefferson County High School. We do have some new COVID procedures and protocols this school year. Testing is still available to all faculty, staff, and for students with Jefferson County Schools. Please make sure that you have filled out the permission form so that nurses can test your child whenever you request. You will need to call in and request that service if you're feeling like your child is ill, or if they're showing symptoms of COVID at school. A nurse may contact you to see if you would like your child tested, but they will not be able to perform the test unless there is a permission form filled out on that student. We will no longer be notifying parents if there is a possible exposure to COVID. So make sure that you're talking with your students about using the proper hygiene, washing your hands, keeping a social distance. They are more than, we're more than happy to have them wear a mask this school year if they choose to, but that is definitely not required. You can follow the CDC and Tennessee Department of Health guidelines if you choose to. Make sure that if you do that and you would like your child to be have an excused absence while they are out, that you are providing a medical excuse or a proof of a positive test. And remember, the proof of a positive test is either you showing us a picture of the at-home test, or your medical provider is excusing that, or the nurse is testing the child for COVID at school. We had several schools go through the Capturing Kids' Hearts training this before school started. We had 5 schools in addition to the 3 that we had last year. So that is a program that helps teachers understand the importance of building strong relationships with their students and kind of gives them a step-by-step process on how to do that. It also helps create a positive school environment overall. So we look forward to hearing from students and teachers on how that is affecting their child's outcome. Attendance this year, last year we had quite a bit of students who were chronically absent. We saw more students who went to Truancy Review Board or through the court system because of unexcused absences. Attendance is important, so please make sure that you have your child at school on time and that they are attending unless there is a medical need for them to be out. Make sure that you're communicating with your child's school if they are out for a medical reason, so that way we can make sure that we have those excuses and that it gets taken care of. Thank you, and if you have any questions, please notify me, Carrie Trent, Supervisor of Student Support Services. Have a great school year.
My name is Michelle Walker, and I am Jefferson County Supervisor of Secondary Education and Assessment. I oversee curricula and programs for grades 6 through 12, and I supervise all state testing programs for the district, including TCAP and ACT. I work very closely with many people in our district, but especially with Ms. Waltke, the elementary supervisor, and Mr. Collins, the data and accountability supervisor. Together, we strive to provide a very focused and streamlined approach to improving instruction across all campuses, grades, and subjects. As a result of our partnership with teachers over the last 2 years, we have seen many successes across the district. I'm excited especially to continue focusing on excellent ELA instruction and math instruction, especially as we adopt a new curriculum this year in math. I'm also really excited to be working alongside our CTE director on the Innovative Schools model. This will ensure that middle school students are given opportunities to explore many different kinds of careers and enter high school knowledgeable about what it will take to be successful in the post-secondary world. In Jefferson County, we have set high expectations through our culture of excellence, high quality instruction, actionable feedback, and data literacy and responsiveness, what we call our core 4. Everything we do is rooted in these values, providing better outcomes for our students. Please feel free to reach out with any questions you have about programming in grades 6 through 12 or any testing questions you might have. Thank you.
Welcome to another new school year. I'm Amy Sharp, and I'm excited and honored to begin my 20th year in Jefferson County Schools in the role of Supervisor of Federal Programs. I've had the privilege of serving our students and teachers in several roles throughout my career here in Jefferson County, including general and special education teacher, instructional coach, principal, and most recently the coordinator of our Instructional Technology and Professional Development Center. The support and encouragement and resources provided by 2 of my predecessors, Sherry Fincham and Tommy Arnold, are a blessing during this time of transition as I work hard to learn the intricacies of federal programs. These longtime colleagues and mentors have worked closely with principals, teachers, the Board of Education, and each of the Jefferson County Schools departmental supervisors to be excellent stewards of title programs that have had a long history in the school district and to begin the planning and implementation process of newer COVID relief funding. This is an exciting time to work in the federal programs. The unprecedented influx of funding through the secondary school emergency relief grants provides exciting opportunities for our schools and our students. But they also come with a substantial number of rules and regulations. At the recommendation of Dr. Arnold, I am working closely with representatives from the Tennessee Department of Education to deepen my knowledge and skill set to ensure that our history of good stewardship continues. My primary responsibility is to provide leadership, technical support, and direction in the development, application, implementation, monitoring, and reporting of federal funds that will ensure that Jefferson County Schools remains on our path to continuous improvement, becoming an even better place to learn and grow.
Hello, my name is Trevor Collins, and I'm the Data and Accountability Supervisor for Jefferson County Schools. And my role primarily deals with assessment data and the assessments that we give throughout the year, leading to T and Ready at the end of the year. For the 2021-22 school year, we are still receiving information from the Tennessee Department of Education, and various parts of that data is still embargoed and not available for public release. However, we do have some information we can talk about today as we celebrate the progress that Jefferson County Schools has made over the past year. At this time, we have recovered from the pre-pandemic scores in all ELA classes in grades 3 through 11. We currently have the highest scores for ELA that we have seen in the district since the test changed in 2017. That is a great indicator of the success we're making across all grade levels. Also, at the same time, we're seeing some recovery in our scores in kindergarten, first, and second grade, which may not take a T and Ready test, but we have internal data showing that we have roughly half of our students are currently performing at grade level, and more students are making progress toward grade level. In the same avenue of talking about achievement, that being on track or master according to our tests, we have recovered in mathematics within one score of our previous scores for the 2017-18 school year, and we are seeing great progress in our elementary buildings, again, as we overcome that learning loss that occurred for our students during the COVID era. Our social studies scores, which are given in grades 6-8, are currently above all state averages in each grade level for our middle schools. This is a great accomplishment as we continue to push students to become civic-minded and work toward achieving those Tennessee state standards in social studies. Science scores continue to be strong in grades 3 through 8, and we're seeing great recovery there as we move toward getting our students ready for those STEM careers that are available across the country and within our region itself. We continue to look at our growth scores as they come back. TVOS is something we look at each year to see how each student grew, and right now we're seeing positive trends, and we look forward to sharing more information with you later as those scores are allowed to be shared with the public. In Jefferson County Schools, we have a strong focus on what we call our Jefferson County Core 4, that being a culture of excellence that we try to display every day inside of our classrooms and schools, high quality instruction occurring in all of our classrooms, great feedback to our students and teachers to improve their craft and learning as they move through our standards and grade levels, and one that's very important to me, data-informed literacy, which helps us, data-informed instruction, which helps us to understand exactly where our students are as we make those paths back to recovery to make sure that our students are doing exactly what they need to be college and career ready.
Hi, my name is Dr. Heather LeMay, and I'm the Supervisor of Special Ed for Jefferson County Schools. I wanted to say welcome back, and I'm looking forward to another great school year. If you have any questions regarding special education, please reach out through your child's school.
Hello, my name is Carol Baker, Supervisor of Human Resources for Jefferson County Schools. Amanda Kinsey assists me in the Human Resources Department. We currently have positions open for teachers, classroom assistants, bus drivers, custodians, and substitute teachers. The job postings for these positions can be accessed on our website by clicking the employment link on the home page. Once you access the job postings page, then you can apply for any positions that you are qualified for. We hire new substitute teachers throughout the school year. Our school board has increased the substitute teacher pay substantially for this school year. For certified teachers, the daily rate is $130, and for non-certified teachers, the daily rate is $105. We look forward to a great school year serving our employees, our prospective employees, and anyone who contacts our Human Resources Department. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sherry Dotson. I'm Supervisor of Transportation for Jefferson County Schools. And before I get started, there's some things that I need to talk to you about. But before I get started, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our school bus drivers here in Jefferson County. You know, Jefferson County is so very fortunate to have so many professional school bus drivers who protect our children every day. And some things I would like for you to know about our school bus drivers. You know, they soldiered on through the pandemic. They were fearless, and they just kept moving education through the pandemic. And even now, we have the very best bus drivers in the state of Tennessee. And they're there for you. They keep our children safe, and I love and appreciate every one of them. They are part of a team that operates more than 468,000 school buses each year that transports nearly 25 million students each day. They're part of that team. And without their dedication to going above and beyond, our children wouldn't have the most safest possible transportation as they could. As we all know, driving a bus is a huge, tremendous responsibility. And every day when these bus drivers get up to go and drive that bus, they plan on being successful. And you say, well, how do they plan on being successful? For number one, to be a bus driver, you have to continually be healthy. You have to every year be able to pass a CDL physical. And not only that, they got to get a good night's sleep, because we don't want no drowsy drivers out there driving school buses. And then when they get up to go to their school buses, they get on that bus, they do that pre-trip, they walk all around it, they get in it, they go under it, they make sure their 8 ways are working, they go through that bus and make sure everything is operable. And well, then when they get behind the wheel of the bus, they know how critical it is that they keep their head in the game and they stay focused at all times. They must remove all risk, and they know that would cause them to be a distracted driver. When a driver becomes distracted, neither their thoughts or their eyes are on the road, and they know this. So they remove all the risk. Removing the risk means removing the attention dividers. And every driver here in Jefferson County, they know what those attention dividers are. And so parents, just as equally important is our students' behavior on the school bus. We got to make sure that our students does not distract the school bus drivers. So talk to your children about that too. So, and let me say this about the school bus drivers. They are in charge of what happens on their bus. I call them the managers of chaos, and they are. They have got to maintain control of that bus at all times while managing those students. And a good bus driver can do this. So for now, parents, I would like for you to teach your children to follow these 9 dangerous things that could save their life when riding a school bus to and from school. Number 1, teach your children to never run to the bus stop. If they are late, never chase that school bus. There have been children in Tennessee, not only in Tennessee, in the nations, that have chased a school bus because it missed the bus and they fell in a hole and they went up under the bus and they have been ran over. Teach your children to never chase a bus, and teach them to be there 5 minutes prior to the arrival of that school bus so that they will never be tempted or have to chase that school bus. That's very, very important. Also, tell them not to wear clothing with hanging drawstrings or loose straps. Children have been drugged when the door has shut, or these straps have gotten caught in the handrails and the doors. Children have been drugged to death. So make sure that they don't have loose straps hanging off of them. And tell them to never stand close to the curb while waiting on the bus. We all know that children have a much higher chance of being killed or injured when loading and unloading a school bus. So it's very important that you understand this. There's more injury. There's actually more injuries and more death when unloading the school bus than there even is inside of the bus. Tell your children to stand at least 6 feet or 3 giant steps away from the curb while waiting on the school bus. Tell them to never walk too close in front of the bus. tell them to be at least 10 feet or 5 giant steps in front of the bus before crossing the street. Tell them to never put their head or their hands out the windows of the school bus. This could lead to serious injuries or even death. There have been 2 capitations of children losing their head that I know of in the past by doing this. So please teach them to never do that. Number 6, tell them to never play with the emergency exits and never to block the emergency exits with backpacks and book bags. This is very important. Teach them in case of emergency to follow the bus driver's instructions regarding an evacuation. And let me talk about evacuations. Each year, a bus driver will go over and go through and practice an evacuation with your children, so they will know how to safely evacuate a school bus, and that will be happening this year. Preferably, we would like to do that in fall and maybe one in the spring, but that will be happening. Number 8, teach them to never cross the street without making eye contact first with the bus driver. This ensures that both the driver and the student can see each other, and the driver can help them safely cross in front of the street. We had a student one time that there was about 15 of them got off at one stop. So the driver was trying to count them away. Drivers know that they have to count their students away when a fight broke out in the back of the bus. And the driver looked back. And about that time, a little kindergarten student lost her little red hat. It went up over the front of the bus. And so the driver looked up. She turned back around and she saw this little red hat going up in the air. And she looked, and here come this little girl crawling out from in front of that bus. So parents, let me tell you something. Teach your children that if they drop any objects or anything while getting off that bus, first of all, make sure they're 10 feet in front of that bus. And if they drop anything in front of that bus, around that bus, anywhere, to not try to retrieve that item, to let the bus driver know. And the bus driver will shut that bus off. He will set that parking brake, and he will get out, and he will help that child find that object, whatever it is. But it's critical that our children keep their eyes on the bus driver at all times. And the bus driver will even motion them across when it's safe to cross. So make sure you teach them to always make eye contact with that bus driver when they get off that bus. And the bus driver will take his hand and do this to let them know now it's safe to cross. And also, tell them to take their time when getting on the bus and to never push or shove getting on that bus. Tell them when they get on that seat to take their time. And when they're on that bus, there's to be no moving around from seat to seat. This is so important. For instance, what if that, say your child is up out of the seat running around. Maybe a car darts out in front of a school bus. The school bus has to put their brakes on to keep from hitting that car. And maybe your child's up running around. When 40 pounds of pressure will take that windshield out. Just 40 pounds is all it takes. So it's critical that your child never runs around that school bus. They have to take their seat, and they have to remain seated at all times for their safety. Also, tell them that it's critical that they talk quietly and they keep their classroom voices at all times, not to be a distraction to the driver. We don't allow horse playing on the bus. We don't allow bullying on the bus. We don't allow eating or drinking on the bus. Children can become choked, and a driver could choke to death before the driver could actually get pulled over and take care of the student. We don't allow any inappropriate language at any time is allowed on the school bus. We don't allow no throwing objects on the school bus. And we teach our children to always be respectful in their actions and their attitudes to everyone. This is so important. We don't allow smoking or vaping or drugs or alcohol. These things will never be allowed on a Jefferson County school bus. And also, make sure that your child has a note from you and signed off by the principal. For instance, if you've got a child that's going to go home with a friend today, but that's a whole different bus than what they normally ride, there has to be a note from you. You have to sign off on it, and the principal or the principal's designee has to sign off on that. Okay, so that's about all I have right now. I want to leave you with this. I want all of you to please remember that the school bus drivers, they're the people who transport your children to their future. And all it takes is for one child, one teacher, one bus driver, one book, and one pen to change the world. And one other thing, I want you to know, please be patient with us. We're having a driver shortage here in Jefferson County. Right now we've got 4 vacancies. So please be patient with us. We've got some routes doubled up. Nobody's in the pipeline. Nobody's signing up to be bus drivers. So if you know you yourself, or if you know anybody that would like to become a school bus driver, we will train them over there at the bus garage. We will help them get their CDL license. We would love it. But right now we've got a driver shortage, so please be patient with us. Talbot right now they only have 2 drivers, and we're just be patient with us. We're trying to get people to come and drive a bus for us. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.